My name is Lee Mesh. I'm the Associate Principal Bass of the Metropolitan Opera. I will play Brahms Symphony No. 2, letter E. To me, this is one of the most revealing excerpts. You've got a lot of things going on. You have a lot of different note lengths, articulation, dynamics. For instance, the first part of the excerpt starts with dots over every single note. You have sforzandos in relationship to accents. I'd love to hear all of those things coming out. I also noticed that when people play this, they take a lot of down bows. I think it should be simpler. You come to another section at the beginning where there are long accents. That also has to be different. Generally, people tend to overplay, whereas if you look at the music, forte until the low E, which is fortissimo. And when I played it the first time, I actually did. So I really got close to the bridge to bring out the fortissimo, and I got the E string started with one hand. Then the next section is really lyrical and legato. I like to hear as legato as possible, joining and preparing your body for the string crossing. And then crescendoing to fortissimo again. It's interesting, unlike the Mozart symphonies, which are a set of eighth notes constant, this one, it shows a lot of dynamics, it shows your sound, and most of all, to me, it represents what's going on in the orchestra when the player plays this excerpt. Just another point that I see frequently with this excerpt, I see overplaying and crushed sounds. To me, the dot is simply an articulation mark for clarity. So even the beginning is just one forte. Save room to hit the sforzando, making the A sharp sforzando pop out. Notice when I get here, I'm not really playing that strongly. I'm just giving a nice, healthy mezzo forte, perhaps forte. That way I could really bring out the other things, and I have room to bring out the accents here. Just another point, and it's a good way to kind of gauge what goes on in this excerpt, especially the first part of the excerpt. There are many places you have quarter notes that should be the same length. For instance, this passage. Many times I often hear people play the A quite long, which to me is really out of character and not the note length printed. The same with the eighth notes too, that they should be short and yet you notice at the bottom is a short note and yet it's not clipped. It's ringing. In relationship to this excerpt, I guess the reason why I like it and why I chose to play it is because it's difficult, yet not as difficult as many excerpts. And this really embodies what's going on in the orchestra. You could really convey that, especially the big dynamic changes, which are not that hard. And it's kind of fun to play really loud on the E string. And that one's easy. Other notes are much harder. So enjoy this one. And when you're playing this in a hall, in an audition, you can really hear your sound ringing out into the space. And if you don't hear that, chances are you're not letting the bass ring enough. Maybe the notes are a little bit crushed. So enjoy the sound of the bass on this one. He wrote good stuff for the bass.